Right, I think I might have gotten the bug and maybe it'll stay away, lowering the lights. So anyways, what I was saying to me about signs and that, yeah, I'd just been noticing all these random um, license plates. They all look the same. They're all like white, really big, bold black letters, like pulled up in front of my house. Starting to sound paranoid. But, they kind of, nothing happens, Sometimes it's just when I'm not driving. And that's actually one of the reasons why I thought that Shaggy video was kind of funny, because the license plate did say Angel, and I pulled up behind someone, and it was a white car, and it said Angel right as that song came on. But it was like, you never have your phone like ready to take a photo right as like the light turns green. So, and I just kind of thought, that's probably just whatever, nothing. And the other day I was out for a walk and I saw same sort of license plate that said top by X gun, which I thought was weird and random. What else was there? And then another one that was parked outside my house, and like almost thought like it was like kind of waiting for me, kind of leaving down the street very slowly, like so to maybe take a picture of it. And if I could take a picture of someone's license plate like that, I'm not doing anything. So I don't know. And I was caught off guard, but it was very obvious. It was a big black car, and it said in the same white, big bold black letters, God's will, and God's GODZWIL. I think I don't remember if there was two L's or one L, but it was like funny because it's middle school kind of sort of Z, Every time I feel like I've had some sort of weird encounter, maybe you kind of run into people and you think, oh, maybe they are like an angel or something, because they just have that sort of otherworldly presence, and the interaction is the same. So it's every time I've experienced something like that, it's always been just very like innocent, like Sesame Street sort of experience in a way. How strange, I don't know, but just very like goodwill, good humored, like yeah, childlike, smiley. I don't know, just very strange. And so, and some other very strange things happened that were just kind of personal, but that same night. And so I was like, okay, if I'm supposed to be taking this as like some sort of huge sign, which could be the most obvious sign or not, and you're just totally crazy or reading into things or something. But if I kind of asked my universe, higher self, like, if this is, shadow's making my face look like I have like but if this is some sort of like major sign, like I am actually having some sort of encounter with angel or something, please show me, where I like, because I never actually have any sort of like face-to-face confirmation of things when all these strange things happen, and it can make you go a little crazy except for the confirmation of the things happening. So I'm not enjoying this like weird shadow. I think it's like strange. So yeah, I asked for a sign that I can really dispute, like identify who it is or what it is that like was allowing me to have these sort of weird divine experiences, and take this for what it is. I mean, I have no reason to lie about it. It's actually kind of weird to me, and so just this is exactly what happened. I walked into CVS and I was almost about to go home, but I walked into CVS to grab up like something to drink, and the same guy that I'd seen like a year ago as the bus driver driving by with this like little kid sign on the bus I haven't seen since, and it was, I don't remember, wrote it down. He like waved at me on the bus and like had that sort of Mr. Rogers Sesame Street sort of acknowledgement, sort of like a hello, like very personal. And yeah, he had these like long dreads in a ponytail, and the same guy walked in, and I'm pretty sure at least they looked very similar, and they had the same hairstyle too, same pulled back like long dreads, and same racial like features and everything, and same skin colors, just everything. Because when you recognize someone, you kind of go through those check marks, like, are they who I think they are? And I just had this memory of this guy on this bus, like, burned in my mind, and he was kind of like looking around, like he had his sunglasses on, I think, and was just kind of like smiling, like, I don't know, and he was wearing a black shirt, and with white big bold letters it says, "I've seen God." And I like kind of did a double take and sort of like spied, and because I wanted to see if I'd seen what I'd seen. That's within a few hours of asking for some sort of crazy sign. Yours has like a sense of humor. But so yeah, anyways, he had turned around and came back, and on the back of it said, "And her blackness was beautiful." So it's probably some big shirt that's out there. I don't know, like, I don't really pay attention, but yeah, even if it was, it's still like very coincidental that that would happen. And after taking note of the fact that it was so weird, I've noticed all these license plates that are all the same, that have these big bold white and black letters, and yeah, so but I try to like not make things about race or anything like that here. Just try to see things as very soul, and all these wavelengths and things like that are transient, and we're just shells, and so I hope I've never insulted anyone, not knowingly either. Maybe with the hat that I was wearing, that is a gift from someone who's traveling in Russia. So I think maybe some fashion people got this, that I was going maybe for more of like a Verushka 1960s look. I think of her, I think of like it's like somewhere in like Greenland with some Vivienne Westwood blanket coat and like crazy like hair and big hat, and that sort of mixed with athleisure, athletic, whatever we're in now, sport, leisure, casual leisure. What would that translate to? Just like a little sweatshirt, and anyways, but I really do like these pants, and maybe someone would like could make them. They're like cashmere long leggings, but a little bit loose, and sort of like 50s sort of ankle length jersey, cashmere jersey, and that with that big fur hat was my idea of Verushka. Maybe I'll see if I can like add some pictures of inspiration for that sort of who that 1960s model is. But yeah, so I wish I had could make my hair like that. I tried curling it, and it's straight within an hour. So anyways, I don't know where I went on that tangent. But yeah, so The Magician 1, Universe 21, and 17. 138, 111. That number 2 has been coming up a lot. I don't know, maybe signs are more important than, I don't know, like universe, with the star and the 2 reflective, almost like flashlights or whatever it is that she's doing, pouring out bowls like as two mirrors, and so it's almost like inverse, um, inverse mirror, concave, or that just being, like a disco ball inside a big dome. No, if this is probably not making sense to many people. Just visuals that you get. So, kind of reminds me of that, like, Instagram, like, installation thing, but, yeah. Oh, the final thing I wanted to mention, because I'm not really sure what this reading is geared towards or for whom and what we're talking about, or no specific agenda, just, this is the Hanged Man. Some sort of timeout, break. But, yeah, just on a side note, that Eve video that I made, and I think of emojis as hieroglyphs, and leaving a little trail, so I was wondering if people saw, or got the reference for the different fruit lines, which I had mentioned in one of my previous readings, I think that week or so, about visiting Syringe in Turkey, and how some believe that the Garden of Eden was in ancient Mesopotamia, which is now modern-day Turkey, and Syringe, I've said, is a little slice of heaven. They even named it something else to deter people from going there, because it's such a beautiful place to live. And it is. It's so quaint and gorgeous and a little slice of heaven, and they make all these different fruit wines. They're known for it. They're famous for it. So a lot of vineyards and things like that. Oops. This is the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like looking over, watching over, or something. Maybe the view over your garden, your vineyard. What you're growing, what you're looking after, what you're hoping will produce a good product or something later on, a good result, good crop, whatever it is, this can be wondering if you're wasting your time or not, or it's like planting really good seeds and really match. Slate, bluish gray, planting good seeds and waiting for the harvest, kind of time for you to pull out all the hard work and let it be seen, that kind of thing. These peacock feathers and like a forest, think of like forest of the mind, and the music video representation that I have of this video is Coldplay's The Scientist. So I feel like, since I had to sort of shuffle around some cards and things like that, locations, archetypes, that sort of stood for, transitioning again from the Fool to maybe the Alchemist, like the Magician, and the High Priestess again, which is also sometimes associated with science, but he's also in the position of the Hanged Man, the sort of similar color background scheme. So it also looks very 80s, like, and that's where the Magician's Imagine Dragons, like, reminds me of that sort of setting too, very 80s, like club scene, or sculptures and like crystal sculptures, facets, diamond facets, and different raw edges, and it's like a honeycomb sort of plastic paper mache, building up a body silhouette. Makes me think of a playground too, where they have those big like kind of monkey bar things, and climb over like a big dome. So it's the hangman. And sometimes being like a sacrifice too, like something that, taking a break from something that like has been, I don't know, just depends on how you think about it. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which I feel like is it's always a fun card. It can also represent like taking a risk and rolling the dice and being lucky. It's ruled by Jupiter here. It's number 10. So that's why I have Smashing Pumpkins tonight. Can kind of see the imagery in the wheel. Perhaps leaving Earth, coming back down to Earth, drop off, factory. Or just, jump, symbolic for like jumping in where you want on that wheel of time. And taking a leap of faith, again, a jump. Start over, start fresh with something, or just reap the rewards, I think maybe, with this card. Reap the rewards of something, because oftentimes there's a guy here that is like standing over his like crop or something, like little, where he's planted his seeds, and he's like 7 of them, he's like waiting, with his little pitchfork. So it's like wondering if when, it's harvest time kind of thing, and it takes this like patience and time and slow movement and like a good yield maybe, or something like that. 7 years though also I think of, so sometimes with time, or the astrological wheel and 7, like having maybe Jupiter in the 7th house like I do, like whatever that means for you. Let's see what else. Ace of Discs. When I think of like a ballot or a vote or like a ticket or good opportunity or something that is handed to you, or maybe like a year of time, a small tip or bonus or bit of information, nugget of wisdom, advice, something like that, is in a way tangible, like you're giving an opinion, you're giving your 2 cents, you are maybe coming across something that just really brings to light some sort of understanding of what it is you've been working on, like the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Pentacles, just what you've been working on, waiting for it to come about, some sort of Wheel of Fortune event, maybe experience, or just epiphany, understanding, or leap of faith into a new project, being a good maybe investment, good piece of advice, a wake-up call into reality, a Oh, so yeah, I was talking about Sunjay, and so I hope people got that. That was my, along with Eve's perspective and being in a garden of different symbolism. I'm taking out my iPhone, but meant to show also, yeah, perhaps, and if I were to bet, in the Wheel of Fortune on where the Garden of Eden is, and this is not based off anyone else's opinion except that they think that perhaps it was somewhere in Mesopotamia, and I've been to Turkey a bunch, so especially there, it's just, if I had to bet, that's where I think the Garden of Eden is, or was, in Sunjay, Turkey. Queen of Discs. Very beginning, I think, very, Queen of Discs, the first woman. There's all these hidden clues for how things perhaps started as suggestions and of different paths and things and ways of looking at history, divination, cycles. Venus and Scorpio. This is the Nine of Pentacles. It's a sort of never-ending story. It's all in the details, and different colors. Again, these same sort of blue, red, and green. It's kind of like the idea of jumping ahead a step, where the primary colors are blue, red, and yellow, but you've already gone ahead and mixed blue and yellow, so now you have green and you have multiple more options to work with. Does that make sense? I might cut that out because I don't even know if that made sense, or why I went on some sort of weird planetary progression tangent. Also be like 3 ballots, 3, 9, 3, 6, 9. The I Ching I was talking about in the last reading, and just how you have 3 coins, and so anyone can do this at home and practice and see if it brings anything to light for you. But it's 3 coins that have heads and tails, and you can try applying it to different things. I came up with like a coordination of a wardrobe line with it. It's made a very like efficient wardrobe, mix and match in these different combinations based on the I Ching system. And so within each coin, there's choice. There's like, and I gave the healthcare example, Bill. So some of the issues like, do you have pre-existing healthcare, or do you not, or do you live in a state that offers healthcare that you buy, and do you want healthcare? Does your work provide like these different options and different combinations, like 2 heads, 1 tail, 2 tails, 1 head, 3 tails, 3 heads are 4 different combinations of 3 different coins, and each one makes up, a different combination. So translate that to like a computer program, or not even program, but like mix and match system, that people are able to put in input like these sorts of different options of what they want, and then that gives them the 2 different, and it also allows for change with the 2 changing lines, and for some sort of external factors, like if a state changed their policy, or if suddenly your work offered health insurance or something like that. So changing line, but the combination of all of them make up 64 different options. So it's a lot of options for a lot of different situations that can be fit and sort of customized and individualized for each person, so everyone kind of wins. And yeah, I mean, there's probably different ways of doing it and just implementing it, but as like a base, sort of idea structure of how to maybe coordinate or transition Obamacare into build upon that, and things like that. Let's see. So yeah, it's like tailored to people, and so just from 3 different categories, 4 different options, and so I don't know if that would, or even just take it out of, put it in a different context, as far as just any sort of maybe implementing a new way of voting or structurizing something. So yeah, maybe that makes sense to someone. And Scorpio again, 8 of Cups, walking away, pleasure, Knight of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords reversed is someone who just does not think before they start talking, and like, like especially like a tweet or something like that. Think of that more as like the page, but just anyone that brings a lot of information at you fast, and may or may not have all the facts, so it's kind of childlike, that kind of thing. So things can always go both ways. So it's be someone coming back from your past, or hearing, getting a call or something from someone from your past childhood maybe, or just being reminded of something from the past. It's the Six of Cups, pleasure. It's usually very just happy-go-lucky energy, lovely. I mean, Six is very nurturing energy. So, and Cups, emotions, feelings. So, and the Knight of Swords could be of an air persuasion, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But as a mutable sign, it could be Gemini. Or just someone who's just sort of talks a lot, says what's on their mind, just sort of quick to speak. And there's often a few people in this card. If it's not a family, then it's just sort of loving, sort of helpful energy, sweet. Sometimes it can be adore. It's gonna mean I adore you kind of thing. Yeah, so very young, also young sometimes too, and just imaginative, I think of too. So let's see how that works out for you. Knight of Wands. Very descriptive cards. This could be Sagittarius. Something directed at you, love directed at you from people, help, giving. Sometimes it can just be giving advice. Yeah. Truce. Prince of Cups. Eight of Wands. And Lust. This is reining in this seven-headed animal. Representing all these different, facets maybe, or seven deadly sins, seven, this is 11 here, but Leo, otherwise in other decks, could be the Strength card, having a big lion and this big obstacle, this big thing that you have to sort of rein in and be in control of, and so that's why it's often higher mind and lion, Sagittarius and Leo, but so that has a gateway too for maybe some sort of brand new burst of energy, connection, the multifacetedness that I was talking about, the different colors, the rainbow spectrum that really is just one big circle. But it's Sagittarius and it's Eight of Wands and Mercury in Sagittarius. It's fast communication and fast, rapid development, things over the internet, things over, things being shot through the air. Here they're coming out from spiral center, but oftentimes they're going across. So sometimes it can mean railroad tracks or a gate or a fence or just defense, things like that. Or just a lot of fast communication coming into you from some sort of, can be internet, can be phone things related, talking about communication, information, but it can also just mean getting your point across, and something going through the air, something, just again, lines, different levels, layers of things, borders, that kind of thing. So Prince of Cups can be a little bit, again, impulsive or manipulative emotionally. You're just someone who is way too influenced by their emotions. And that's why they're trying to keep this cup steady and drive. And, it can be a water sign. Upright, though it can be very much knight in shining armor kind of persona. Emotionally in touch, fun, loving, yeah. like I had asked if I had sort of experimenting always, but asked if someone who had recently passed was at peace, and pressed shuffle and was also shuffling my cards. Sometimes I sort of, by the way, you're welcome to pull cards along with me and see if there's any messages that, or press play shuffle on playlist and see if anything more directly speaks to you, like gives clarity to whatever I'm talking about. But when I did that, the Prince of Cups came up, which is a Justin Timberlake song, and it's just very fun-loving and like life affirming and that kind of thing, and just happy-go-lucky kind of childlike again too, and just very charming too. Feels it's happy with emotion, feels good. So, and again, if it's a person, it could be of, or some like Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian energy coming through, bursting through. Maybe during some sort of session, like here. This can often mean like intimacy. Pleasure here too, and sort of sometimes this is a guy lying on a bed, so it can just mean like taking a rest, a breather, lying down, taking your thoughts, taking a time out, thinking things over, having patience, rejuvenating yourself, just going to bed sometimes. But here it says truce, so or it can mean like coming to an understanding. Between these two cards, he's coming to an understanding, thoughts and emotions of how things have, cause and effect kind of thing. With the reaction, I think of reaction is like some sort of battery reaction from the center, bursting out in all these different facets of this sort of sphere or diamond-shaped object, light. I guess this is sort of like a creative reading. It's Five of Swords and the Sun. Again, this is the Sun. It's like, again, a lot of childlike energy and enthusiasm and just feeling alive and like good weather, out, enjoying things, feeling happy, go lucky again, sort of very at peace. Word that was also coming through, or a phrase that was also coming through throughout that day when I asked that question, was magnificent freedom, and that's kind of what I feel like this card represents, is magnificent freedom, whatever that means to you. It's number 19, it's the Sun, so it's just really emanating happy vibes and just feeling generous and just wanting to embrace things around you. I mean, also light source, turning on a light, which I wish I had a light working here, but or just like your two children, if you have children, more than just two, but yeah, or just childlike energy. It's Leo, it's fire, it's the Sun. And I think, the guy that was harvesting, the guy, the Seven of Pentacles, or just waiting for something, and the Sun, life-giving source, kind of looks like they're in some sort of field, something like out in Middle America. Yeah, both of these have that sort of explosion, sort of that too, and that, just radiating out positivity and light and color and vibrancy, and just, going out there and being true to yourself, and not letting your emotions get, the best of you, staying level-headed. That's also what this can mean for swords, staying level-headed. Again, Three of Cups and Three of Swords. By the way, Three of Swords can mean I miss you, or I love you, or something like that. And the Three of Cups can also, if you make your own associations, but 3-3, 33. Again, the grapes and the grape cups. It's like 60s diner where very mod like. Um, yeah, so waterfall, Great Gatsby sort of party. Three of Swords. Again, it can just be 3 letters. Oftentimes, that's what it comes up as for me, just 3 letters. So don't let the meaning of the card always scare you. That's why I try to leave things pretty open-ended. In a way, there's like a lot of different options in these different playlists, so that they could apply in a vast variety of ways for whatever it is you're maybe wondering about, or thinking of going, or whatever you do for work. Maybe you're wondering if, trying to make up your mind between something and there's an answer in a lyric or something for you. It's one of those videos that, if you just kind of give a try, a whirl, focus and just stay open-minded to how different messages can come through different, sometimes it's like it's math too, 3 by 3, or you get like an equation, and things come to mean things for you with different ducks. It's like stormy weather, though, I think of like the eye of a storm maybe, and like a celebration. So hopefully there's so it could be also 6 again, going back to pleasure, maybe some sort of wedding sort of thing, making sure that you have adequate preparation. The sun here, and just thinking everything's going to go great, and making sure that all your bases are covered if you're doing something outdoors. These here. Just relaxing in your garden. I think of 2 sometimes, like the 9 of Pentacles, if it's usually just very like feminine energy too, just enjoying your surroundings, or some sort of, sometimes this is clarifier and letters or something in a name, or 3 thoughts just coming together, making sense. Yeah. So power plant here. I think when I see this card, actually, for the most part, it's 4 of Pentacles, and it's like maybe getting your power back, wanting to have some sort of security wall, moat. But like power plant, or just like fortress, or it's kind of 3D, Art Deco-y. There's like a moat there, and center squares, 4 pegs for, for having a sturdy foundation, having what you need, having what you want, maybe just asking what you want. Like, I'd love if people just, I don't know how to do it exactly, but if you have questions, what do you want to know? It's very much what this is sometimes. What do you want to know? So if you have a question for me, you can write to me. And I'll see if I can, figure out a way to incorporate that. That's 4 again too, so we have 3, 3, and 4. There you go, like the I Ching, the hexagram, 2 different hexagrams that are made up of 3 different lines, and the 4 coming from 4 corners of the universe. So hopefully all this is like making sense to you. It's cool one from the Manera for different switch up the do people need to know for the highest and greatest good of all energies of love. 5 of Fire, Saturn in Leo. So this is like having a lot of I almost think of like, maybe not so much associated with this picture, but like having a lot of childlike, because of Leo energy, like focus or determination, or like seriousness to what you're doing. Saturn is a very serious sign, but Leo likes the attention and the fun and the play, so it's kind of like a mixture of both of that. Like a little, you can imagine like a little kid that like takes charge, and so that's a 5 of Fire, 5 of Wands, building upon something, working something out, reading the instruction book. So again, if you're wondering more about this like I Ching idea, you can read just look up how the different hexagrams and things are made online, and see how it could apply to you. And yeah, so, but that's also building, constructing something, working together. 5 different energies, it's a change up. It's, again, usually building something up or some sort of competition or game, or sometimes I think of like, I'm talking fast, I don't know why, but some sort of like field day, like having a field day with something, and that kind of maybe speaks more to this energy. So, yeah. Ten of Cups again. This kind of reminds me of some pictures of the wildfires that are going on in France. I've seen the Mirror, Jupiter again, 10, the Wheel of Fortune again, seeing 4 different sides of something, for having to have 4 something, stability, foundation, in order to build upon. Taking a chance, a leap, family, like Wheel of Fortune, again, travel, maybe, this is Mars and Pisces. Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, and that's that Mars too, so it's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more Aries, like gung-ho. Mars also rules Scorpio, but it's just that kind of described as that like warrior type energy, but someone who just like gets an idea and runs with it. And I think of just like, leader of the pack kind of thing, depending on your age. But I always think of my friend from college, who's an Aries, and freshman roommate, and still a good friend. We were inseparable pretty much, and she is an Aries, and I'm a Sagittarius, and together we just made so many stupid decisions, just like stupid things. She would come up with like a really bad plan, but say, how about we go do this, and I'd jump on, yeah, let's see how I can make this even a worse idea, expand that idea very much, add to it. So we were always doing things that were just, but just like dumb, not like even like, risky. We were just always finding ourselves in trouble. But yeah, it's very much that Aries, like, go-getter, sort of tomboy-ish energy too. Mars and Pisces, and that's, again, fire and water. It's that sort of mixture, weird mixture of just taking action and also going with the flow, and having to sort of balance that often, maybe within your work or whatever it is you're doing, and seeing your reflection in it or something. The eye, the Wheel of Fortune, eye, perception, astrological wheel, so maybe Jupiter is very much important. Trying to pick up these. I got Moon. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Henry David Thoreau. Sleeping Gypsy by Henry Rousseau, 1897. Illuminating something. Lunar, 2 of Cups. This is The Terrace at St. Adressy by Claude Monet, 1867, MoMA, New York. I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. It's the day at the seaside. Oh, that sounds nice. This is the Nine of Cups again. Happy life is one in accordance with its own nature. Marcus Mea Seneca. This is Writing on the Strand by Frank P. Stonelake, early 20th century. Wingfield Sporting Gallery, London, UK. And that, like these colors and seaside and early 20th century seaside. Cool islands. This is Justice. This is Self-Portrait by Vincent van Gogh, 1887. Detroit Institute of Arts, USA. Self-Portrait. It's a little bit what we've done here too. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. William Shakespeare. So, yeah, and I think it's like true that when you aren't being totally your authentic self and you're trying to imitate only to learn, and then we kind of make our own path, right? So you can see when you're not being totally true to yourself that that it just never is, to be your own authentic self, and then something, however ridiculous it is, tends to somehow come together. So let's see, let's pull a Winged Enchantment. Justice, though, could be like Justice Department, Justice of the Peace. Van Gogh is here. Where did that go? And was. This is a bracelet that I showed a while ago, and I was trying to see if I could get it to like be an earring. It's a rosary bead from Ephesus in Turkey, and so I was trying to get it to stay. No. But yeah, I liked it as an idea. Just wanted to like perch on my ear. I don't know, I was doing it before. Oh, it's stained. It's like sterling silver. It's ornate beads. Blackbird. Not before. I really want to get a card that I haven't gotten before. So let's see. What do people need encouragement on? Seagull. I think I mentioned seagull before. I was trying to like do some sort of remote viewing exercise. Crane. 6. And 31. Just stick with these. I forgot where I put the book. So 31. I actually got this before when I was doing my own reading, but not in one of these readings, so it's a little dark in here. Let me see if I can read it. I am Seagull, master of the sea. I am legend on the waters. I am ghost bird. I am the one who haunts those adrift in storm. I have the ways to mountain. I have the ways to maintain. Maintain my bold position and defend a scavenger lifestyle. I take what I want, as my survival depends on it. If you want my advice, learn to take what is given while it's there. There's always treasures where nobody looks. There are always paths no one has tread upon. Seek them out and make them your own. I am resource and I am plenty. Expand your horizons. I am guardian to the open shores. Look farther out to sea. The ships may be heading in your direction. Competition is wild, but you and your instincts are keen. You are navigating the chaos. You are exploring the deeper waters. You are boundless supply. You are seagull. Crane flies over just. I am Crane, the moment of true awareness. I am lasting peace. I am still water. I am unparalleled focus. I can stand alone longer than anyone, waiting for destiny to unfold at my feet. I never miss a ripple in the water, nor do I dwell on those who have already passed. You must also learn to allow your future to find you in the perfect moment. Be at peace now, be silent. Your mind is too busy, your focus too shifty, your spirit like a restless stream. Gather your visions and retreat, giving them time to restore. Allow the chaos around you to be what it needs to be. I felt it going. Allow the chaos around you to be what it needs to be without pulling you into its vortex. I implore you to be still. Find your highest mountain, climb your tallest plateau, wait for the ripple to come to you, and then make your move. You are active awareness, you are present in the moment, you are mindful, you are Crane. Location for people to be aware of. This is Breakfast in Bed by Mary Cassatt, 1897. Huntington Library and Arts Gallery, San Marino, California, USA. Blessed is the influence of one true loving human soul on another. George Eliot. There's something about Mary Cassatt in the way that she would draw hands, I think. It was important, so maybe gloves? I don't know. This is from Eugene Manet at the Isle of Wight by Berthe Morisot, 1875. Musée Marmottan, Monet, Paris, France. Who so loves believes the impossible. Elizabeth Browning. So again, more gardening, looking out the window. This is the Page of Pentacles. This is the Temptation of Saint Anthony by follower of Hieronymus Bosch, 1551-1600. The Brandbins Museum, Noord-Brabant, Netherlands. The first step towards philosophy is incredulity. This reminds me of like Gulliver's Travels or something like that. Can't say it. Fool. You must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment. Henry David Thoreau. This is Jester with a Lute by Francis Hayes, 1664-1626. The Louvre, Paris, France again. So maybe that Paris is important, California, and this could obviously be applying to the vast majority of like different groups of people, so different locations. And that advice said to be still and not do anything sort of reckless, maybe like that page or that Knight of Swords, and some other advice. Some other people may be needing that little push, to like to just go on some sort of brand new quest, adventure, trip, travel, job, situation, life, whatever. So, however you fit into these scenarios. If there's anything else. So the Queen of Wands. So, yeah. little cat there. I always think of my cat when I see this card. Also reminds me of my grandmother. Who, by the way, it fit in with the playlist that I put up today. From the 1999 movie Dick. Yeah, so in the Carly Simon song, Wife of the Postman, and my grandma was, and when I came over here, yeah, this card comes up every single time. It's interesting. Again, the Four of Swords. Maybe I should have shown it to you. Mine in some sort of. So the King of Wands. So again, some more fire signs, maybe fire energy, ideas, creative ideas. This is maybe someone with a lot of big ideas, and then needs others there to, sort of implement them. Because reverse, kind of like mad, like. And these are often associated with like long distance, far distance. Jupiter being like long distance travel. So, with like Egypt or something in the background here. Think of more like Middle Eastern or, those climates too, and King of Wands, so Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Someone with a lot of, just I just want to say spunk, and spunk. That probably sounds even worse. But just a lot of like get up and go, or just a lot of also force in a way, like passion behind what it is that they are working on. This is like entrepreneur type person. Reverse be a little bit of like a snake lizard, just a little bit too overconfident sometimes too. I mean, I think everyone can be within these different suits in different ways. Just very extravagant too. Sometimes I think of Six of Cups on the bottom, which I was describing before. So it's very like cute energy. Like someone maybe thinks you're cute. Maybe I'll do a little love reading. Capricorn, and the moon. So it could be an eclipse or a full moon or something like that. So you have both faces there. It's the other side though, crossing the aisle, crossing into someone else's, threshold or something like that, someone else's world. I think of parallel dimensions or something like that too. A never-ending story, just starting, beginning, going on some sort of, some sort of trip. Again, keeping it open-ended, open to whatever you come across. Maybe meeting halfway. Think of like meeting this halfway point. Borders, lines, again, bringing light to something. This is 18, the moon. So it can be, again, 9, like maybe 9's come a few times. 9 maybe relating to the hermit. Maybe just transitioning. Maybe again moving state lines or something like that. Moving forward. Seeing your reflection again with the moon. Seeing your reflection. Yourself. Nine of Cups. So again, this is like your genie in a bottle. It really does kind of look like sort of genie here. Just being satisfied and full and happy with like whatever situation or outcome thing that you've been wanting, wishing for. It's having like almost pretty much everything, whole 9 yards. Feeling pretty good and happy with yourself. Like sitting back, seeing pretty, just enjoyment, contentment. Making a wish, having it come true, having your wishes granted. Careful what you wish for, it could come true in a very literal or otherwise different way. But yeah, this is feeling usually pretty content. Could also be Pisces. Again, I think of that a lot with like the ninth house and water, Pisces, own little magical. Also, by the way, the devil can mean extraterrestrial. I found out. So by just this card popping out whenever, like watching a show with UFOs, extraterrestrials, like happens nearly every time. So can also just mean kind of like a gargoyle or like influence or again, we talked about it being a spectrum of perspectives, changing up your filter, changing the way that you see things, or the way in which you see things from different angles, different light, different also just since again with the pleasure and like the genie in a bottle and the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, just a lot of like sexy hot energy, like it's also your environment. It could be just being in a hot landscape, traveling somewhere very far, depending on where you live, but yeah, like maybe Egypt, something like that. And yeah, again, just finding someone sexy. And the nine of discs, nine of cups, genie in a bottle, the moon, kind of a little bit mysterious, and Queen of Cups, just someone who just is like kind of gives off that sort of I don't know how. I mean, you can always reference the videos that I've put there. I feel like the artist that I've chosen for those different videos kind of portrayed some of these energies pretty well. So, or very well, but yeah, just to give further visual references and tell different stories and things like that. So, anything else? Again with the grapes. She has her grapes here. And Nine of Pentacles usually has grapes in the background, a Three of Cups with the grapes, and talking about vineyards. California also came up, Parent Trap, but also syringe and the grapes and the fruit wine, and that being Queen of Discs coming through, and yeah, so going on a journey. Very beginning, Zero, the Fool. Grapes. So I'll just be wanting to get like naked with someone. Just yeah, all this like fiery, like excited, happy, contented energy. Yeah. So let's see. Also, by the way, I forgot to even say this, but it's 11:27 now. I've been recording this for an hour and 5-ish minutes. I did an earlier one too, so that I only got like 10 minutes of. So anyways, at Central Time, on the Farms, on Monday, 31st, 2017. This also, by the way, can mean like talk show host. I saw it with like Radiohead's like talk show host. Really, the cards are just so descriptive. So you just kind of have to see what like calls to you and what like compare that with the base meaning and maybe numbers and cards around it. And you're talking about the Hierophant though, like the rule, the law, I mean like going a traditional route or being more untraditional. It's more traditional, but it's number 5 too, and so it's some sort of establishment. I think of like the Pope or church or your place of work, like a big corporation, maybe like the White House, something like that. Like just somewhere where you meet and gather and talk, town hall kind of thing. Just someone who has some sort of power to like make mandates and things like that. You know, like a boss even like just someone who sort of delegates out things. Maybe a priest where you get married, something like that. But just someone you look up to, just someone whose word is law, kind of thing. Again, the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes I think of Touchdown too, like. Wheel of Fortune. Again, different actions. So, 4 corners and 10. Wheel of Fortune, taking a risk. Is there anything else? That other video was funny too because her name is Helene in the movie, which was my grandmother's sister. And I always thought that name was really pretty when I came across their names. And just kind of digging around, looking for more information on my family. And her name is Helene, and Telene or something. Great. And yeah, just kind of funny how that worked out too. I just remember seeing that movie in like 8th grade, and I don't think I've really thought about it since. So it's kind of weird how these things sort of just kind of work out perfectly with timing. I think today was like best friend day too, and everything. I don't know. It's funny. I'll pick one rune and then pull a romance oracle card and two. This one's broken. It's Degas. It's home, and sometimes it's some sort of flag or Pertho, though I think. I'll have to look these up. It looks like a flag to me, like, what's that flag game? Capture the flag? You know? Maybe? These also I picked before for reading. And just popped out to me. So I put these below as well in information. There's a lot of signs and things that give further clarity, I think, to what we talk about here in that. So think of like electricity, and this is Hagalaz. So again, kind of has like this electricity, it's a disruption, some sort of kind of akin to that Tower card, lightning bolt kind of thing. Again, with electricity, lightning bolt. Some sort of like electricity, electrical pole or something. Home. Actually, I have one that I'm kind of worried about. Right over a pool, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just easily falling. But anyways, oh yeah, romance angel oracle cards. What do people need to know that have to do with love? This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So, I guess that's good news. It's like being in some sort of library, and she looks like she's sort of like testing the waters a bit, and like letting him have her hand. Just sort of like that gentle trust, maybe. Maybe initial meeting, love at first sight kind of thing. Library, books, arrows, Cupid arrows being watched over little angel cherubs. Sort of, again, medieval, like, maybe more Renaissance-y. But notice the patterns in the stained glass, sort of lattice. Yeah, they're just kind of like caught off guard, maybe even a little bit, and just sort of easing into the situation and getting to know each other. This could be the one. And children is on the bottom. Your love life is being affected by children. So again, maybe just getting to know each other, feeling young and innocent with the other, vulnerable, like your childlike self, maybe. Like teenage dream. Just, yeah, feeling like young or new. Maybe it's a new relationship too. Children, try to take things out of context. Maybe you're meeting someone at the library too, or yeah, just sort of maybe you have children, maybe you are a nanny or something, and there's so many possibilities, but just to see how it works out for you, I feel like it's more like just feeling new at something, feeling young together, just sort of beginning little sparks of, you feel like you're in fifth grade again, and you're just kind of like, does he like me? I think he touched my hand or something, and that kind of thing. So just maybe trying to be your, no jadedness, just sort of be your authentic, childlike self. No agenda, really, just sort of trying to ease into the situation, maybe. One more, and then we'll be done. I said done at 21 seconds. Finances and careers, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And love, by the way, can also mean like family, like maybe you have a family and you're wondering about things like that, or again, newlyweds, new couple, dating, just maybe you aren't able to go out as much because you're like working a lot, and she looks like she's sort of just whatever it means to you. And the bottom is forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. The Fool, it's all about you must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, and find your eternity in each moment. So, I think they're both sort of just longing for each other, and they could just easily, but both of these things, maybe are preoccupying themselves. Maybe he's in school, maybe, just sort of a lot of other things distracting, taking up their time, but they both sort of just, I don't know, maybe you can help each other. I don't know. And you deserve love, again, with those arrows, like pointing your arrow at something, in the Eight of Wands, and just something going across, usually some sort of blue sky, but this is also knowing what it is you want, pointing your arrow at it, going after it, going for what you want, no holds bars kind of thing, but aiming well and being concise and precise and focused, determined on the end goal too, staying positive. You are lovable. You deserve to feel that way too from your interactions and the things that you want and are going after. So making sure that there's that good balance too, and needs are fulfilled. Wedding. Again, wedding situation involves marriage. So this could be the one. So if some of you may be wondering, this cute little veil thing that she has going on. Yeah, so I feel like there's like one more thing that wants to come through. Release your ex and getting to know each other flew out. This kind of just popped out with it, so time has come to clear your energy, so that could just be clearing your own energy too if you're single, just sort of getting rid of old past baggage, that kind of thing. This is what flew out, and that's getting to know each other. So, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So, again, that's sort of just in the library, in the salon, in the getting to know each other, sparking conversations, really just understanding how someone's mind works too, and um, your friends help you. Getting to know the way that people think and how, love languages, that kind of thing. And I mean, it kind of sounds cheesy, but it's also interesting to I guess that whole like reveal, expose things maybe slowly, letting the bond deepen, getting to know each other, being playful with each other, getting to know someone, not revealing everything at once, but allowing there to be that space, that path to be open for you to reveal your innermost selves, maybe perhaps at one time. Yeah. So, anyways, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you have a good week. And again, if you have any questions, anything specific that you want answers about or for, you can reach out to me or comment below. Again, this is kind of like I do these when I can, and I feel like there's things that want to come through and that need to come through. So, but yeah, I work too, so I will try to get back to people also if anyone wants to write to me or if you have questions. And yeah, I hope you have a great week or month or whenever you come across this video. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. You have a great day. Bye.